On today's episode of Behind These Eyes, I'm going to show you how to capture some beach vacation memories and turn them into an ocean pendant. To create our pendant with the ocean feel, we're going to use a little beach sand that I captured on our last vacation to the beach. We always bring home sand and seashells, and I never quite know what to do with them. I'm using these great little glass bottles, and I just pour about 1/2 inch of sand or so into the bottom of the bottle. And then pop in some tiny seashells. You can use little bits of coral or little tiny rocks that are polished, or sea glass is beautiful in these. That one won't quite fit. There it goes. So first you have your sand and your little tiny seashells. To add the ocean to our ocean pendant, we're going to use a 2-part epoxy resin, which we're going to sort of use according to the manufacturer instructions. I've poured it into my stirring container, and the instructions tell you to stir it until all the bubbles disappear. But because I want it to look like actual ocean water, I want there to be bubbles. So I'm going to stir it until there are bubbles that do appear. To add that ocean tint, I've discovered that liquid dye can be used to color resin in small amounts. Small amounts being the key. So I'm going to literally just put in 2 or 3 drops of the dye into the stirred resin and then stir it again. And that will tint your resin to the color of seawater. Now you can change the level of the dye to darken it or lighten it. I'm using aquamarine dye, but you can obviously change it to teal. So once you get it mixed the way you like it, you're going to go ahead and pour it into the bottle with the sand and the seashells. Fill it about 2/3 full. The resin will start to seep down into your sand so that it looks like the ocean floor. Your seashells will remain at the bottom, and you'll end up with your water on top, and it actually looks like ocean water. But we have to have waves. I let my resin start to cure a little bit, and then I'm going to show you how to add the white foam on the waves. So now our ocean needs to have some white foam on the waves. To create that, I put a little bit more of the 2-part resin into a container, a new container, so that it'll stay clear. And then we're going to add a little bit, again, I use small amounts of a white or just an off-white acrylic paint. Start with a small amount and then stir it into the resin. And to add our foam, this is the careful part where you really have to be careful. I very carefully let it drip into the resin that started to cure. Until I had probably 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch in the bottle. And I'm going to demonstrate with this one because it's already dry. It's still got that foamy effect, and I wanted it to have a tilt, like an actual wave coming in. So once I got the foam in there, I put it into like a little cup full of sand or something to kind of hold it off to the side to dry. And the effect is it almost looks like a real wave that's about to crash in. You've got your ocean water with the bubbles and your wave and your seashells and your sand, and your memories are captured in there forever. To create the hanger for our captured bottle of ocean, I took a piece of wire about 11 inches long and strung on some decorative pearls. Then I actually wired it around the neck of the bottle, create a loop, and then I just wrapped it and continued wrapping until my ends were tight. Then I took a piece of organza ribbon and sort of wrapped it around the pearls to hide the wire a little bit, and wrapped that around the neck of the bottle to also hide the wire. The organza kind of gives it that frothy feeling like the wave. Another tip that I did is as my wave started to dry, I forgot to mention this, I stuck a toothpick in there and I would lift it a little bit just to continue to make sure that it didn't level out. But having it on the angle kind of takes care of that problem. And then you let it set according to the manufacturer's instructions, and you end up with a bit of captured ocean forever. I hope you enjoyed this project. Please keep your eyes open for the next episode of Behind These Eyes.